Hello, everybody. Welcome to this membership behind the scenes tour. My name is Mary Kate Brown, and I'm so excited to spend the next hour or so with everybody here tonight. Really quick, I'm going to give everybody a minute to hop on and join us live on this Friday night. But I'm a membership specialist here at Hope Writers. And basically, what that means is I get to chat with people just like you who, are maybe trying to figure out what the next best step is to make some progress in your writing. So I'm really excited about this event tonight. I know that it's going to be a really, really just good time. A lot of information. You're going to meet a lot of our teammates, and it's going to be really awesome. So if you are just now hopping on with us live here on Facebook, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Go ahead and tell us where you're joining from. We do have a team member here with us tonight in the comments. So if you do have questions that, is not answered over the course of our time together, definitely feel free to jump in there. We'd love to hear from you and want to hear where you're joining us from and want to hear your thoughts, your questions, or if you maybe have just gotten started with us. Right now is a time of open enrollment. And so we're really excited to welcome a whole lot of new members. So we're going to jump in here and get started. Whether you're a writer who writes fiction or nonfiction, or maybe you're a speaker or a podcaster, or you want to write children's books, maybe you're just getting started, or maybe you've been published before. Wherever you are at in the journey, Hope Writers wants to come alongside you as a part of your individual writing story. And wherever you're at, we want to offer that type of support. And we have a lot of team members that come in from behind the scenes to do just that. And so, like I'd already mentioned, you're going to get to meet a whole lot of them tonight. One of the things we've done here is we've really made it our job to help writers balance the art of their writing with the business side of their publishing. And so one of the best ways we do that is through the different tools and support that our members have access to. And like I had just mentioned, we're only open a few times a year, and right now is one of those times. So if you are still considering, or maybe you've already made the jump and you're really just looking for, the best place to begin, then, this is going to be a really great time. A really great next hour or so. You're going to kind of hear both of those things. And again, if you haven't jumped in with us, you can do that anytime at hopewriters.com/join. You can try us out for 14 days for just $1 right now. So you're going to get, this is what we're going to cover tonight. Okay. We're going to cover just a bird's eye view of everything that's included in a Hope Writers membership. Okay. And we're also going to have you meet a few members of our team. They work really hard behind the scenes all year round to help our members make progress. So again, feel free to pop in the chat. We have a team member answering questions there. I'm going to bring on our first team member, Anna Rachel, to chat with us. Hi, Anna Rachel.
Hey, Mary Kate. So good to see you.
Yes, thanks so much for joining us tonight. You guys, I'm really excited for Anna Rachel to join us here live. Anna Rachel, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do at Hope Writers?
Sure. So I am the content coordinator for Hope Writers, which involves a few different things. But one of the main things that I get to do is invite and schedule and bring on our Tuesday teachers, which are our live weekly teachings from writing industry professionals.
That is, yes, this is the highlight of, every week for Hope Writer members for sure. So tell us a little bit about, maybe for people who've just joined us or haven't jumped in yet, tell us what is Tuesday teaching and, why is this benefiting our members?
Sure. So like I said, Tuesday Teaching is our live weekly teaching inside of Hope Writers membership. We bring on writing industry professionals. They are, the pros, the best of the best. The reason you should get excited about Tuesday Teaching is because really, when you join Hope Writers, you're not just hearing from one person's perspective. You're hearing from a whole slew of professionals' perspectives on what their journey was like. You're getting expert tips everything from social media to storytelling to the craft of writing to the business of publishing to
Yes.
self-publishing to, I mean, goodness, everything. We've had Pinterest experts on. We had Morgan Harper Nichols not too long ago come in and talk to us about poetry. They're the best of the best, and they're the people that you can trust and that you'd want to have in your life speaking into your writing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like anyone that you can imagine in the publishing, writing, communicating industry. I mean, how many of these interviews are available, are archived? Because that's something that, we do stream them live. But what if someone can't attend live?
Well, not to worry. If you can't attend one live, we have a few different ways that you can watch. They're all recorded and ready for you inside of our Tuesday Teaching archive in our member library, which I know you'll get to see in a little bit.
Yeah.
But inside that archive, we already have over 130 teachers in there.
Yeah.
And we're adding to them every
week. Right. It feels like for me, like a mini conference every week. And I know that's not what it is, but, just getting that like really solid practical tips and advice, things that you can implement right away. And it's inspiring to hear just the strategies and the stories of what has worked for these pros, and then how is it applicable to me and the stage that I'm in. So I love these trainings. And so I don't know, what can you share with us a little bit? I mean, you shared with us a little bit of who we've had. You've mentioned some Tuesday teachers. If a member is new, I'm sure this is something that they're going to be really excited about taking advantage of. So when they join, you mentioned they can join us live. What does that look like? And then you've already told us where we can catch replays.
Yeah, so when you join us live, you would hop onto the Facebook group. That's where all of it lives right now. And we do those every single Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. But again, like all of the recordings are there for you in the library. They all are inside of Facebook too. And when you're there live, that's really fun too, because then you get to ask your question live as well. And so we might put your name up on the screen along with your question, and the professional is going to answer you directly. So that's a super fun element of Tuesday Teaching as well. That I think it's almost, to me, it's almost like, yes, a conference, but also kind of like an extended course that you're getting all of this information. I mean, we have in our Hope Writers Progress Planner as well, we have a whole section for taking notes on Tuesday teachers and spots that you can write down, like, what is my next step that you'll get out of Tuesday Teaching. And I think that's such an incredible tool to walk away every single week with one more thing that you could do or that you can implement right away in your writing.
Right. Yes. And that's, we can't emphasize enough, like, how true that is, that our members are walking away with practical tips, things that they can implement in their writing right away. And, the other side of it is we have an incredible host team. And every week they are, hosting these guests to our community, and they're writers too. They're asking the questions that we want to know. So yes, you can get your questions answered, but maybe someone is a Tuesday teacher. Maybe you haven't heard of them before. You're not super familiar with their work. That's why we have an incredible host team. They're asking the really deep questions. They're getting, content and getting tips and things from these experts that they might, honestly, they don't share anywhere else. I've followed so many on social media, and it's during these interviews where I'm really learning, like, wow, this is how their writing work fits into their writing life.
Yeah, our Tuesday teachers are so generous with their time and with sharing their expertise. They'll often say, well, I haven't said this anywhere else before, or I don't even know if my publisher is going to let me say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It happens all the time. All the time. And plus, I've always found that, I'm a writer myself, and every time I think, and I'm the one who books the Tuesday teachers, but every time I think this Tuesday teacher won't apply to me directly and where I'm at in my writing, I'm wrong every single time. I'm always surprised. I realize, oh, that's actually useful information that I can go ahead and use in my own work and life right now. So it's a great feature.
That is the best. I love hearing that. So our next Tuesday teacher is, you guessed it, Tuesday, and so if you haven't jumped in yet and you would like to see for yourself what this time is like, please jump in, hopewriters.com/join. you can try Hope Writers for 14 days for just $1. And then you can go ahead and join us for the next couple of Tuesday teachings for yourself and see exactly what we are talking about. We're so excited about this part of our membership. Anna Rachel, do you have anything else that you want to add about this of this aspect of membership?
Sure. I mean, for me, I've been a long time Hope Writer member. I joined back in the early 2019.
Okay.
And when I joined, I knew that I was really excited about having a clear path and all of that. But really, I wanted to hear from pros. I needed to know that what they were saying at Hope Writers wasn't just something that Hope Writers was saying, but that it's something that actual industry professionals believe in and would say too. And so to have that every single week, to have a professional telling you what their journey was like, what tips and experience they would give to you, I needed someone that I could trust. And our Tuesday teachers are that.
Yeah, I agree. And I can't tell you how often I jump on the phone with writers who are asking questions like, well, I'd really like to connect with an agent. And I always tell them, that's great. You can absolutely do that. And you're going to want to watch these Tuesday teachings from agents that have come and given these interviews with us, because who better to learn from, than people in the industry, that area of writing that you want to connect with. So again, it's not just authors, it's not just, you mentioned some social media experts like Pinterest. We've had Instagram. I mean, lots of people from the publishing industry, speakers, podcasters, anything that you're working on or that you're pursuing, we've probably got it in there. Like you said, over 130 of those right now. So
exactly.
Well, thank you, Anna Rachel, for sharing a little bit about Tuesday Teachers. Again, if you want to take advantage of that this coming Tuesday, try us out for $1, hopewriters.com/join. Anna Rachel, thank you again for your time. We're going to go ahead and chat about the member library. Kimberly is going to go ahead and join me. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi there, Mary Kate. It's so nice to be here talking about our Hope Writers Library.
Yes, this is like
already alluded to.
We did. I mean, it's really hard not to, because this is really one of the biggest parts, I think. Like, it's so robust. So before we jump into that, tell us a little bit about what you do here on the Hope Writer team.
Yeah, so I am one of the copywriters on the Hope Writer team, and one of my jobs is to maintain the Hope Writers Library. So I'm really familiar with it. I know a lot of what is in there because I put a lot of it in myself. So, I take all of the goodness that comes from our Tuesday teachers and place it in various spots for you guys to find really easily. And we have all sorts of resources, even more than our Tuesday Teacher Archive. We have so many resources in the library, but that really is the bulk of it. And there's a lot to access and a lot of things that I want to show you this evening.
Yes, we're so excited to see all that you have to share. Explain to us, like, new member just joined us this week. Maybe they've logged in, maybe they haven't, and maybe they're feeling like, oh gosh, what do I do? Where do I begin? How do I make sure that I take full advantage of this? So take it away and speak right to that new Hope Writer.
All right, so for our new Hope Writer members, and maybe those of you who might be tuning in and are already members and not sure where everything lives, here we go. So once you log into hopewriters.com, you would log yourself in, and up at the very top, we have here, you can take our quiz, which is just the basic quiz. Some of you might have already taken it to find out what stage writer you are. We have member stories, we have a blog, which I think a lot of members aren't even aware we have a blog, which I write for that blog, so check it out. And then we have courses, our store, Join Now, which you are going to do now, and we have our library. So you would click on My Library, and that will take you to everything that you have access to in the Hope Writers Library. Now, I've already clicked on it, and this is what my Hope Writers Library looks like. It will look very similar to yours as well. So we see that we have all sorts of writing resources in here. And one that I want to point out specifically, I mentioned very briefly the quiz. So we have a very basic quiz that writers can take to find out what stage they're in. But we have a more well-developed, an extended quiz for members. So if you're really not sure that you have nailed your stage, whether you are just calling yourself a writer, you're a stage 1 writer, and that's where you find yourself, or you are a really seasoned author and you need support and community, no matter where you fall on that scale, you might not be sure yet. So we have an extended quiz for members that we can find here in the Start Here section. So I'm going to click on that. So in the Start Here section, we have a ton of information. If you are new, this is really where you want to spend a lot of time hanging out. But if you scroll down to how to navigate the member library and you want to identify your writing stage, you would click on that and it will take you directly to our member quiz. So that's right up here at the top. It says discover your writing stage. Click the button below to start, and you would start the quiz there. I do want to also show you, while we're here on this page, you can see to the right of the screen where I'm kind of scrolling down in that black box, it actually shows you the next sections that you can read, or that have some information for you. And you can click between sections here, and then you can go to next category, and that will give you everything that we saw on the previous page.
Yeah.
So all of those things there. So that's where we want you to start. We want you to know what your stage is. That's the most important thing.
And I think that's something that's really unique about what Hope Writers helps our members do, is we want to help you identify where you're at in the writing journey, help you pinpoint where it is that you want to go. And then this is where you're going to find those tools, those resources to help support you along the way. And so, like Kimberly, you're saying this really is the first step in identifying right where you're at. So you not only know where to start, but you can start strong and you know where you're headed.
Exactly. And the reason we really want you to know what stage you're in is because this is how we organize our information. There are other ways to find things, but essentially you're going to start out in your stage.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and look at one of the stages.
Yes.
I'll just click on stage 1 writer because I think that we have a lot of stage 1 writers. So this is the page. It comes up and you can see on the right, it says there are 45 lessons. And as you go through and complete them, it will show you that you've completed them. So you kind of know where you are. And of course, no matter what stage you're in, you can go check out all the other information in other stages. But we've tried to narrow it down so that you don't feel overwhelmed right away with the breadth of information that we have available to you. Yeah. So in this member training for a stage 1 writer, we have a bunch of articles to start. So each one of these you could click on and read the article.
And then I don't want to interrupt you, but one thing I always like to remind new members is that little show more button, right? Because it's a little sneaky, isn't it?
Exactly. I was just going to say that too. So
we're on the same page.
I know, we're on the same page. We're on the Hope Writer Stage 1 page.
Yep.
Yes. So if you click show more, it will show you numbers at the bottom, and that's where you can click through to all of the lessons.
Yep.
So we have articles, and then we have all of our Stage 1 Tuesday teachers in here.
Yep.
So that's where we have our, let's see, that was one of our stages.
Yep.
So if you decide, you're in whatever stage you're in, but you actually do want to go check out something else, and you don't want to go through every single stage trying to find some Tuesday teacher that maybe you viewed half of the teaching and you didn't get to see the end of it.
Right.
One way that you can find that, and this is brand new actually, is in our table of contents.
Oh, I'm excited to see this.
Yes, I know. It's really exciting. Okay. So the table of contents organizes every single thing in the library according to the description, so it, here I'm showing you the writing genres. So if you want to see everything we have on fiction, you would click on fiction.
Perfect.
That would take you to every Tuesday teacher or article that we have on fiction.
That's brilliant. And I know that we have a lot of members or new members who ask me that question, like, I write fiction. Is there something for me? Right here. And that's how you find it.
Yep, that's how you find it. So if you're a children's writer, you would go to the children's section and find all of those articles, because they might be, or those teachings, they might be spread out across various stages. But if you want to look by topic, this is your best bet. You can also, I do want to show one other important thing here is the, just above the table of contents on that main page, we have the Tuesday Teaching Archives. So this is where every single Tuesday teacher also lives here, but it's not designed by topic. It's just by the teacher name.
So it goes in alphabetical order. So if it's like you mentioned, if you only caught the beginning of a Tuesday teaching, or maybe somebody recommended, hey, you really need to check out SD Smith, then find it here, alphabetical order.
Alphabetical by first name. Yep. And the only thing that would be missing from this section, the Tuesday Teaching Archives, are articles that we've written that are within Hope Writers. So this is purely Tuesday teachers, but this is a quick way to find that.
Yes.
So one other thing I wanted to show you guys, now that you kind of have a sense for where everything is, if you are in your stage and you're wondering and you're making progress and you've watched most of the lessons, one thing you want to check out is, let me see here, our benchmarks. So every stage at the very bottom has benchmarks for that stage. And this will help you determine when you are ready to move on to the next stage. So for stage 5, when you're ready to move on to stage 6, you will have created and launched your work, and it's becoming a regular rhythm of your writing life. So every single stage has this available. So if you're kind of wondering or feeling like maybe you're ready to move on, this will help you determine that.
Yes, this is so helpful, because for a lot of writers, that's a very obvious question. Like, what am I working on now? That's what you find in your stage. What do I do next? That's where those benchmarks really come into play, so that like, okay, I am ready. I have a lot of pieces in place. I've built a solid foundation, and I'm going along. And so those are super, super helpful. Yes. And Kimberly, can I also ask, because this is a feature that really, changed the way I utilize my own membership. A lot of members join us and, they've got a lot on their plates. They're really busy. What are some ways that they can access their trainings? Obviously here on your desktop, from your computer at your desk. Are there other ways that members can access these, maybe more on the go? What would that look like?
Yes. They can download the Kajabi app on their phone. So Kajabi has an app, and once you download the app, it's free. And then you can search for Hope Writers in there. So Hope Writers doesn't have an app specific to themselves, but it is in the Kajabi app. And then in there, you have your full library. You can access everything from your phone. So if you're driving in the car and spending a lot of time in the car, as I do, you can watch, or listen, rather, not watch, but listen to the Tuesday teachers there.
Yes. No, I do that. I don't have a dishwasher. I hand wash. So I'm streaming oftentimes doing my dishes. And so it has been a real game changer for me. And it's what really has allowed Hope Writers to be something that fits into my life. I'm a homeschool mom of 3 kids, and I'm a writer, and I work from home. My husband works from home. We have a lot going on. And I just didn't need something else to put on an already full plate. I needed something that would help me move forward with my writing, but also really fit in. And so being able to stream these resources on the go was a game changer for me. So I love that feature.
Love it. Yeah, we aim to please the Hope Writers.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Kimberly, I just want to say too, we have some people watching Facebook, YouTube, and they're saying like the member library itself is worth the membership. I mean, truly, this is such a robust collection of resources, teaching, and we've seen members really move forward, really make progress with the training here. So thank you for coming to share about this. We know that you're working in there and making it better for our members. So thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Awesome. Well, okay. So up next, we are going to talk about our Facebook community. And we're going to bring on Brittany, and Brittany is going to share a little bit. Here she is. Okay, awesome. Hi, Brittany.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, thank you. We're so excited to have you. So, Brittany, this is like the third. We've talked about Tuesday teaching. We've talked about the member library, and we really want to have you share more about our community, because this is really the third big part of what's included in membership. And so can you just tell us a little bit about, who you are, what you do, and let's dive in and chat about our community.
Yeah, so I'm Brittany. I'm the community manager here at Hope Writers, which basically means I spend a lot of time in our private Facebook community. I joined Hope Writers back in December 2020, partially because I loved the resources that were offered. But when I got here, what I discovered that I didn't even know that I needed was community. And I just found a place finally where I was with people who were asking the same questions I was. I belonged there. They were so warm and welcoming and encouraging and provided a safe space to be vulnerable with my writing. And it was just everything, like I said, I didn't even know that I needed. And so now as community manager, it's my job to help cultivate and create that same thing for our members that are coming in and our members that exist. And it is such an honor to get to do that.
Okay, that is incredible. You joined December 2020, you said. Okay. Yes. And you came for the content and you stayed for community, and now you are working hard to serve the rest of our members here, having the same type of experience that you did, feeling really connected and just being able to move forward with their writing goals with other people and not on their own. So that is amazing. Truly amazing. So I would say, I've been a member for just about 5 years here, Hope Writer member. And I would say that Hope Writers is definitely the most encouraging place on the internet for writers to just move forward, to make progress, for sure. And, this is not a community like other places where, you feel completely like, oh gosh, like I do not fit in here. This is not for me. Like you come in and you're like, welcome to the table, right? Like, did you feel the same?
I totally did. I came in and I was like, I don't know if I'm a writer. I don't know if I really belong. And immediately there were just so many people that were like, you are a writer. You belong. Your words matter. You have a place here. Come join us. We'll show you the ropes. It was so, so special, and still is.
Yes. And so I know a lot of people, like I said, throughout this whole behind the scenes tour, I speak to a lot of different writers. They're looking for a lot of different support, and that is a big one. So many writers are doing this on their own, or they don't necessarily have the same support in their, well-intentioned family. And so it really is special to finally plug in and connect with other people who want to cheer you on. So tell us a little bit about what a new member could expect in our community. Maybe go through some of the weekly rhythms and things that, a new member can look forward to.
Yeah, so we have a weekly rhythm that we kind of use. It starts on Monday with our Monday recap. Our Facebook community is active. There are a lot of members. They have a lot of questions. They have a lot of conversations, and it can be overwhelming. So our Monday recap is a way for us to kind of curate a selection of posts from the previous week so that you don't have to try to keep up with everything. We curate that selection based on what we feel like might be beneficial to Hope Writers at large. So questions that people are asking that might be beneficial to a lot of people, or encouragement, things like that. We also use that Monday recap as a chance to kind of vision cast for the week. Here's what's coming up. Here's what you should mark your calendars for. And it really is just a great way to start your week. Like, you can come to the Hope Writers Facebook page, check out the Monday recap Monday morning, and be ready to go for the week.
Yep.
Then on Tuesdays, we have our Tuesday teaching, like Anna Rachel mentioned, that streams in our Facebook group. If you can't watch with us live, it stays there, it lives there, so you can catch the replay there or find it in the member library like Kimberly just showed us. Also on Tuesdays and Saturdays, we have what we call the writing room, which is a virtual co-working space. We host it through Zoom. You can join at any time during the day, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. And you come in, you can have your camera on, but your mic off. It's kind of like, it kind of simulates like working in a library. When you walk into a library and everybody's quiet, but everybody's there working on something and making progress. That's kind of what this is. And so it's a great chance to come in, make some progress, Set aside some time that day, especially if you make Tuesdays your writing day, which we encourage people to do.
Yeah.
Pick a writing day, then you can work in the writing room. You can jump out for the Tuesday teaching and come back if you want to. So that's just a great little rhythm. On Wednesdays, we have our Wednesday wins, which are so fun. We celebrate everything at Hope Writers. It doesn't matter how big or how small a Wednesday is, anything from I wrote today, I spent 10 minutes writing, to I called myself a writer for the first time, to I published a book this week. It truly runs the gamut, and we celebrate it all. And our Hope Writer members love cheering each other on. And that's so fun because writing can be so lonely, and it doesn't have to be. That's part of what makes this community so great, is you don't have to do it alone anymore.
Yes.
Also don't have to celebrate alone, because it's more fun to celebrate with other people.
Absolutely. And you know, one of the things that this taught me, the Wednesday wins and celebrating progress along the way, is that there's always room for my story, for my message. You know, I can't tell you how many times I hear sentiments like, oh, so-and-so already writes about this, or this person says this so much more eloquent than me, or my story's not, no, like this, nope. These places you will see there is room for your story, for your words. We need your story. We need your words. There's a place, there's a reason why you have that nagging that says, I gotta write, I gotta share this. It's because other people need it. And so this is the place where I really learned that, seeing the progress people were making, what they were sharing, what they were writing about. And so I personally just love that regular celebration of all progress, great and small.
I love that. And like you said, your voice matters, your words matter. It all is worth celebrating, which kind of leads me into our Friday shares, which is a chance for our members to share their own work. And so every Friday, we create some posts where you can go and link an Instagram post you wrote, or a Facebook post, a blog you wrote, an article you published, whatever it is that you want to share that week. Every week you have an opportunity to share something. And so that's a really fun way to read the work of other Hope Writers and to share your own work kind of with the Hope Writers community. And then on Saturday, to round it out, we do that writing room again, the same thing on Tuesdays, we do on Saturdays. In case your weeks are busy and you can't pop in on Tuesdays, you have a chance on the weekend to do that with us.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And I will just reiterate one thing that's really special about our Facebook community is, because I know some people, they have feelings about Facebook or social media or whatever, but this group is so rich. I mean, it's incredible, you know, and the conversation happening here is so amazing. This isn't like a place where people drop a link and disappear. There's very valuable conversation going on, and you guys do a really great job to make this beautiful and special space for writers to feel welcomed, to feel included, to get their questions answered, and an opportunity for writers to meet friends. I mean, I've made real life friends in Hope Writers, like got on a plane and flew across the country to their house friends. So not that we make any guarantees, but I will just say it is very, like I mentioned at the beginning, very welcoming.
And if that's what you want, you totally can find that. We hear stories like that all the time of people who are like, I flew and I met so-and-so that was in a hotel with me, or, you know, oh, we all met together at a conference. I know there was a group recently that went to a conference and they all did like a big slumber party together at one of the ladies' houses because they were all good. You know, stuff like that just happens. There are Hope Writers all over the US, all over the world, in fact. And it's really easy to find people in your area who are also Hope Writers. And that's just a fun connection. You can meet people in real life if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. And the opportunity to meet, like you mentioned, people all over the world. I mean, even trying to make real life connections, you don't always have that opportunity, obviously, to meet people on this side of the world, but virtually, that's a really great way to connect and find other writers who are working on something similar. So I love it. And some of people in the comments are saying that, you know, they plan meetups every month or whatnot, but I love hearing that. We definitely value community here. And, you know, we just talked about like the top 3 things that are included in a membership. I know we're chatting a lot about what's included, you know, our Tuesday teaching, our member library, and our Facebook community. And so we really want you to plug into those. We really want you to start feeling connected, get access to the training that we've talked about. Join us on Tuesday afternoon if you can live, or catch a replay later on. You can do that right now at hopewriters.com/join. You can try Hope Writers for 14 days for just $1. That way you feel really confident this is the right next step for you, that this is a good fit for you. Come in, make those connections. We cannot wait to welcome you. So Brittany, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for your time with us this evening.
And if y'all join, come and say hi. I'll be there. So
yes. Yes, we're all there. We love it. Awesome. Well, thank you, Brittany.
Yep.
I am super excited next to jump into a couple other aspects of a Hope Writer membership, what's included. So we're going to bring on Deb, and she's going to talk about 2 more parts of what you can expect as a Hope Writer member. So Deb, hello.
Hi, Mary Kate. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here tonight and for sharing with our viewers about a couple things. You're going to talk about first our Hope Circles.
Yep.
And our member directory.
Right.
So we'll jump in there, but first, tell us what it is you do on the Hope Writer team.
Sure. So, hi, everybody. It's good that you're all here. I'm so happy to be here as well. So right now, I am the Hope Circles manager for Hope Writers. And during this launch season, I'm also sitting in the seat on the bus that we call the onboarding specialist. So that's my current role.
Yep. And I can't think of anybody better. I've seen a lot of new people join in, and right away they're getting reached out, like a personal point of contact from Deb or the rest of your team. So super thrilled that you're able to join us tonight and share. So why don't we begin with Hope Circles?
Sure.
Why don't we chat about that? Why don't you tell us, what is a Hope Circle? Why would a Hope Writer member want to join one or start one, or what does that look like?
Sure. So we have 2 different kinds of Hope Circles, and all a Hope Circle is a group of writers who are Hope Writer members who have gathered together to make some kind of progress and to connect with each other. That's whether it's a peer Hope Circle or a guided Hope Circle. That's what, when we think about what a successful Hope Circle is, that's what we're thinking of.
Awesome.
So I can show you on the screen a little bit about what it looks like if you're trying to join or start up on a peer circle. And
Yes.
I have this here. So this is somebody who just posted yesterday or today in the Facebook group to start a peer Hope Circle. Peer Hope Circles are started by our members, usually in the Facebook group, and they get to choose what they focus on. They get to choose, one second. They get to choose what they focus on. They get to choose what they, turning off my volume. I'm sorry, something is talking on my phone, and I apologize.
That happened to me just the other day. So
yep,
we've all been there.
Nope, I just threw it under the desk, so it's totally fine. We'll keep going.
Yep.
Okay, so the Peer Hope Circles are started and led by our Hope Writer members. And what they do is they decide what they would like to talk about and what they would like to focus on. They would like to, how long it would be and how many weeks they would last. This person here, and honestly, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see, I think she's the person that wanted to make progress between now and September, which is, or I'm sorry, between now and the end of the year, which is a really great way to do that. They wanted to make progress before the holiday season.
Yeah.
So she decided that that's what she would do, that that's what she would focus on. And she's getting a group of people together to do that, which is awesome. So I think her name is Janelle. So she just started that today. She's gathering a group of people, and they will just kind of take it and run with it by themselves. And then the guided Hope Circles are a little bit different. So those are started by people who are actually trained and interviewed first by the Hope Writers team. And basically, we reach out to people to see if they might be interested in leading. There's an application and an interview process. And what they do is they, I'm getting distracted by the phone under my desk. You know what?
Oh.
It is still talking. So can you hang on 1 minute?
Yes, we can. No problem. So I'll just.
Nope, you're good. It just stopped. So there we go.
Okay.
Keep going. I'm not going to worry about it.
So you were sharing about the team members that lead the guided Hope Circles.
They do.
Yeah.
So what we do with those is they are structured, and they are only for 7 weeks. It's almost like a sprint. And 7 weeks might seem like a long time, but if they're trying to make progress, it is a really good amount of time for them to be able to focus and make progress in a short burst of time. So that's what we're looking at. We're offering them 3 times a year. So we offered our first round back in June and July, and we are getting ready to offer our second round now. I can tell you a little bit about the format of those, if that helps.
Sure. Yeah, that would be great. Just
Sure.
because if people are listening right now and they're like, oh, so I can either start or join a peer-led Hope Circle, but these guided ones, they only happen a few times a year. The next one's coming up. We would definitely love to see anybody take full advantage of those, because
Yes.
we don't cap it off. We don't close it. We want everybody who's able to participate to be able to do that. So yeah, tell us a little bit about what new members can expect coming up here in a few weeks.
Sure. Yes. So signups will start next Tuesday, and I will talk a little bit about that at the end of this section. But each week there's a 7-week session, and each week there is 1 hour Zoom session when everybody meets together with their guide. And the first 20 minutes of that session, that's the teaching time for the guide to share what he or she's going to teach that week. And then at the end of that, there's a bit of transition where the guide will say, this is what you're going to focus on in your breakout session time. Because after that, there's about 25 or 30 minutes of a breakout session time over Zoom. We try to keep those numbers real small, maybe between 5 and 6. Sometimes we had them even smaller last round. And we do them randomly each week, so that you're going to get into a different group with different writers every single week. And you could have the opportunity to meet 35 or 40 writers that way, which is awesome.
That is really great. Yeah.
It is really cool. It's a really cool way to make connection. So we've got that first 15 to 20 minutes of teaching, then the 30 minutes of breakout, and then everybody comes back in together into the big Zoom room, and the leader will share some encouragement for the week ahead, an assignment for the week ahead, and just whatever he or she feels like he or she would like to close with to send everybody off. So by the end of that hour, if you are a Guided Hope Circle member, you have everything you need to make progress for the next 7 days. Yeah. And it's fun. I can say this now, and I couldn't say this last time I did this because it was our first round and we hadn't even started yet. But we know from the surveys we did and from talking to people, we know that this process works. We know that the people who committed to the weekly sessions and the people that stayed for the 7 weeks, they made progress. So you can tell I get really excited talking about these. I love them. I'm really excited about it. And I can tell you one other feature too, Mary Kate. Yeah. Each of the Guided Hope Circles has its own Facebook group. And it's a private Facebook group. Yeah. And I'll echo what you said when you were talking with Brittany too. It's a place of enrichment. It's rich conversation. It is the primary way that the Hope Circle Guide is going to communicate with the members. We're not asking them to send out hundreds of emails to people. So this is where they connect and share information and share resources. So when people sign up, they'll get an email, and part of that email has the link in there as well.
Perfect. Yeah. So that sounds incredible. And Deb, like you just mentioned, like we've got the proof that this works. These members are moving forward. They're getting unstuck. They are making progress. They are making connections and networking with other writers who are working on something similar, or maybe in a stage similar to them. And that is so helpful. I mean, the training, the community, all of it, at one time. So if you're listening and you haven't jumped in yet, we would love to have you be one of the first to get in on these, to sign up. You said those open on Tuesday, right?
They do. Yep. Okay. Do I have time to read the list of topics? We haven't shared them. Well, we shared them in the Facebook group, but do you want me to run through the list of topics?
Yeah, go give a quick run through, and then we'll jump right into the directory.
Sure. So we have Getting Unstuck with the Artist's Way, Part 1, Find Your Message in Your Reader, Create a Writing Routine that Fits Your Life, Foundations of Writing Craft, Start Your Email List, Introduction to Writing Fiction, Getting Started on Your Nonfiction Book, Take Your Instagram to the Next Level, How to Use Canva and Graphic Design Basics, and Falling in Love Again with Words. So we've got a whole variety this time. We're super excited. Signups do start on Tuesday. And if you're able to come to the Tuesday teaching, the guides will all be there. All but 2 of them are able to attend, and they're going to share more about their groups there as well. And then signups close on October 3rd.
Great. So again, you heard it here from Deb. signups for those guided hope circles, they start on Tuesday. We definitely want you to be able to take advantage of that, to join, to make some connections. And you can go ahead and try Hope Writers again, 14 days for $1 right now at hopewriters.com/join. Can be part of that Tuesday teaching where you get to meet those Hope Circle leaders and then get started and sign up. Be one of the first people on that list to sign up. That's going to be so good. And we won't be doing these until after the new year. So this is the last chance in 2021 to participate in a guided hope circle. So Deb, we're going to go ahead and kick it over to chat a little bit about our member directory. And now, as everybody's heard, there's a lot of ways our team really tries to help our members connect with one another. And our member directory is just one of those things, right? It's one of many. And so can you share a little bit about what this member directory is and, you know, how this can help a member with their writing work and making writing progress?
Sure, I sure can. I'll explain in a minute and then I'll share my screen so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So our member directory, like Mary Kate said, is a way for our writers to connect with each other and also to connect with members of the publishing world itself. So one thing to note about our member directory is that it is not private, it is public facing. So it is searchable from the outside is the way we like to say it. Mm-hmm. So you can connect with other Hope Writers. Only other Hope Writers are members, but people from the publishing industry, like an agent or an editor, if they're looking for somebody who is writing in a specific genre or does a specific type of work, they can search for that as well. So that's one of the really, it's a really great networking resource and community building resource.
Yeah, and as you'll show, I'm sure here, people watching, you know, this is like a really professional looking like landing page almost. So I'm really excited for everybody to get kind of a sneak peek at what that looks like.
Sure.
Do you have maybe a member profile that you can show us?
I do. Yep.
Oh, okay, great. Okay.
Yep. I'm right on the homepage here. I'll give you a quick look here and then I'll hop over to a member profile.
Okay.
So this is the homepage that you'll see. And then I've already got mine up here, so I've already logged in. The process to get your own login and password is as easy as it is anywhere else. Yeah. So I'm not going to go through that today. There's a browsing by category that I'll explain in a minute. You can browse by location. I searched for Illinois this afternoon, and I found over 30 people in Illinois. That's where I live. That's why I looked. Nice. And, you know, that's like a meetup waiting to happen, which would be fun. So I have permission to share Laura Conrad's, and she might actually be in the comments. She is a fellow onboarding specialist and a friend of mine. She lives in Knoxville. And so what I did was I just put her name in the search here, and I did a search now, and this is Laura's membership profile. So a couple of interesting things here. We have a private chat feature here where it says send message. So I could send a message to Laura. That does not go anywhere but between me and Laura, which is nice. Yeah. And we use that a lot to connect with each other here as well.
Yeah.
So what Laura has done, she has created her overview here, which is kind of like a bio. It talks about where she lives, talks about the work that she does. It talks about who she is, a wife and a mom and a grandmother, where she grew up. It also talks about her company, what she does for work. It's got her website here. It's got all of her socials that are linked. And then, I'm not just scrolls here. Eyes don't get buggy as I go all the way up to the top here. She's also shared an article here as an example of the writing work that she does, which is a really good thing to do if you're looking to be published in a magazine or somewhere online. So that's a really good idea to do.
And a great opportunity to publish your work online somewhere if maybe you don't yet have a website.
Yes,
so
that's true. Yep.
And I know that this feature to publish articles, or if you've published a book and link to your book on Amazon, I think that's included with a premium level.
It is.
And that premium level is included with our annual memberships. So that's definitely a great resource to take advantage of.
It definitely is. This is my other favorite spot to look. This is the specialties section right here. These are the genres or the areas of work where Laura is working currently or is writing currently. She's also podcasting. Now, Laura gets to put 10 of these in because, like you said, Mary Kate, she is a, whoops, I just made that too big. She is a lifetime member. So she gets 10. If you are a monthly member, you get 3 areas of specialty. I remember when I first joined and had the opportunity to use the put in my specialties here, it was overwhelming to even think of 3. And I'll pass on what somebody suggested to me is just think of 3 areas that are interesting to you or you think you might want to write in at some point, and put those in, and you can change them as you go. It's super easy to go in and to edit and to change.
Yeah.
So don't be overwhelmed by thinking of 3 or 10. Just start.
Just start. Yep. Absolutely. I think that's a really, really great tip for getting started. So again, like this member directory profile, whether you're a monthly member, an annual member, lifetime, you get one. You get your own professional looking landing page. You can go ahead and connect with other writers. You can connect, with other members who write in a similar genre to you. It's a really great tool. And again, like this is a feature that you get access to right after your first membership payment goes through. So it's not included with the trial, but it is included with a monthly or an annual or a lifetime membership. But if you still want to go ahead and get started with us, knowing that this is right around the corner, if you join us for 2 weeks and you decide Hope Writers is a good fit for you, that's hopewriters.com/join. Just try us 14 days for $1. And then knowing that this is one of those really awesome resources kind of right around the corner. So Deb, we just so appreciate you taking the time to jump on and talk about the guided hope circles, talk about the member directory. These are such big parts of how we help our community connect. So we're really grateful for the work that you do and how you facilitate that. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks, Mary Kate. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Thank you too. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to kind of round things out here. I'm really excited to bring on Kelly next. Kelly is a membership specialist like me.
Just like Mary Kate.
Yep. So Kelly, you talk to writers every day. I mean, a lot, every single day. And they're telling you, here's where I'm at. Here's what I want to do. And you're always pointing them to, hey, let's get you some clarity on what some good next steps to progress would be.
That's right.
That's why you are here with us this evening.
That's right. Yeah, I get to talk to potential members just like you and hear what are your goals and what are your dreams and figure out how you can make progress towards making those happen. And one of the things we hear from members a lot of times when they first join is that they feel like, I don't know where to start or I don't know what to do first. You know, Emily P. Freeman is one of our founders. So we always want to focus on the next right thing. Like, what do we need to be doing right now? And so that's where we can implement some small steps that lead to really incredible progress over a period of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you speak to that tonight? Can you speak to, the new member who they are just like, okay, I joined, I'm trying it out, right? What are their first steps? What are some best things for them?
Absolutely. So one of the things I encourage new members to do is to start by scheduling your Hope Writers time. Put it on your calendar, write it in your planner, on your computer, wherever you keep track of your schedule, because we don't usually find time in our schedules. We make time in our schedules for the things that are most important. And so I really encourage you to figure out what day, what time am I going to commit to utilizing my Hope Writers membership? And then when am I going to schedule time for my writing? Yeah. The thing about Hope Writers is our goal is to help you make progress. And that doesn't just come from absorbing information, but from applying what you're learning. Mm-hmm. So I'll oftentimes schedule those things differently. Here's the time that I am planning on gaining information, community, asking questions from Hope Writers. And here's when I'm going to build it into my schedule to make progress with it. And the great thing is that can be 20 minutes a week. You can schedule 20 minutes a week for Hope Writers, or maybe you've got an hour or two that you can commit to utilizing your membership, but you can make progress with as little as 20 minutes a week.
Absolutely.
You don't have to worry about keeping up. Another thing we say around here a lot is that you can't fall behind. Mm-hmm. Your pace is your pace. There's no such thing as behind. So you don't have to keep up. Yeah. Consistency is more important than frequency.
Yes, that's so true. So tip number 1 is to schedule your writing time, schedule your Hope Writer time. What would you say is a good next step?
So next, you've gotten to see inside our member library, we have a module called Start Here. So first steps for progress, log into your library, check out that module, start here, and take the writing quiz. If you might have already taken, there's one before you become a member, but the one inside your library is a little more extensive.
Yeah.
And that's going to help you know where to start in our writing stages. You might find that you are in stage 1 or stage 3 or stage 4. You don't have to dive right in there, but it gives you a good place to start because the content is probably going to be most applicable to where you are in your journey right now. So if you haven't taken that quiz yet, go ahead and log into your library, go to the Start Here module, take the quiz, and it'll give you a great place to start making progress in your library.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a brilliant next step. Okay, so we've scheduled writing time, we've scheduled Hope Writer time, and we took the quiz, Kelly.
That's right. Now we've gotten what we need to like get started with the training. The next thing I would really encourage you to do is introduce yourself in our Facebook group. And I don't know why this is so hard for us as writers, because
So hard.
it's like writing your own bio or your own introduction is the hardest thing you'll ever write. So it can feel really intimidating. If you're intimidated to introduce yourself in the Facebook group, you're not the only one. But I promise you, everyone is so ready to welcome you there. And your intro can just tell us a little bit about who you are, give us some background, maybe on your family, where you live, and what you write about and what your writing goals are. And you'll find when you post that, members start responding, saying things like, I live here too. What, you write about that? I do also. We have this in common. And that's a great way to immediately start to be connected with people and feel like, okay, there are other people like me in this community.
Yeah.
It's so welcoming. It's not intimidating at all.
Nope. Okay. I don't know how many times we've said that tonight, but hopefully they've heard it. It's so true. It's so true. So, okay. So then we introduce ourselves, and then anything else, like making progress. We've joined, we've got things scheduled, right? We've got, the quiz done. We know we're our writing stage. We introduce ourselves.
Yep.
And then what else would you say?
So I think that a lot of times we want to think about goals in two ways. We want to look at where we're going, and we want to look at what we need to be doing right now to get there.
Yeah.
So if you haven't had a chance yet, I would think through 1 year from now, where would I like to be? If I were to, mark this date on my calendar and look back this time next year, what do I want to be true in my writing life? And then once you have that goal in mind, start breaking it down into kind of monthly or quarterly milestones that are going to help you achieve that goal. And that way you're keeping your eyes on where you're going, but you also know what to focus on right now to make sure you're on track to hit that goal. So that's the last tip I'd give you as a new member just getting started. If you implement those 4 things, you'll be off to a great start making the most of your Hope Writers membership.
Oh, absolutely. Kelly, that is so helpful. And I mean, for anybody, no matter what stage you're in, if you're just jumping in, we definitely don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Take note, do what Kelly said. But if anybody still has questions that they might, where could they go ahead and get those answered?
Yeah, if you still have questions, if you go to hopewriters.com/join, there's a chat feature on the bottom of that page, and you can chat with one of our team members to specifically make sure you know where to start, you know what to do next, and you know how to get joined if you haven't gotten to do that yet too.
Yep, absolutely. Kelly, thank you so much. This has been incredibly helpful. We're all about writers making progress. So thank you for sharing those 4 brilliant tips.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mary Kate.
Yep, no problem. All right, everybody, we're almost here at the hour, but before we go ahead and close our behind the scenes tour, I want to welcome Clarissa on, and Clarissa is going to share. Hi.
Hey.
She's going to share about our Hope Writers Manifesto. But Clarissa, before you jump in, tell us a little bit about what you do here on the Hope Writer team.
Yes. My name is Clarissa Mall, and I am the host of the Writerly Life podcast here at Hope Writers and a member of our host team. So I help to host training events, live events, webinars that we do, and I also host our weekly podcast. So it's a fun job. It's an opportunity to connect with members and folks who are just kind of checking us out.
Absolutely. So if anybody's following or watching or has been around, they probably are familiar with your voice maybe familiar with your face. So we're so excited to have you here sharing with us this evening. Tell us a little bit about the manifesto, and maybe you can kind of walk through what that is, what that means, just some of the things that really guide us as hope writers.
Definitely. Well, when you're doing the hard work of writing, you need words to live by. You need things to ground you, to remind you that your voice matters, that your words matter, that you have a sense of calling and purpose to your writing when your confidence lags, or when you're feeling nervous to get started. And I think the manifesto is an awesome way to do that. I actually printed it off and I hang it on my bulletin board because I need to be reminded of the words in this manifesto. So we created this 10-point manifesto to help center us, to remind us of the things that matter to us as hope writers as we put pen to paper and send our hope-filled words out into the world. So do you want me to share some of those?
Yeah, we would love to go through them. They're right here, right? So everybody can read as we talk. I have them printed at my desk as well. So I love hearing that you did the same thing.
Yeah. So, number one, we write meaningful words without sacrificing our meaningful life. If you feel harried and you're wondering how writing can fit in, here at Hope Writers, we affirm that not only can you build space into your schedule for your writing, but that writing isn't everything, that writing is part of a rich and meaningful life. Number two, we're real writers, even if we never write a book. If you have wondered if you can call yourself a real writer because you're scribbling in journals, or you just have this instinct to want to write, but you've never produced anything, you still are a real writer. We don't believe that a book deal is what qualifies you as a writer. We believe that desire to share your hope-filled words with the world is what makes you a writer. We build benches, not platforms. A lot of our culture tells us that competition is the name of the game. But here at Hope Writers, we believe that collaboration is the name of the game, that we all write better together, that we find our inspiration from one another, that the hard work of writing is always best done when we link arms with one another. So we are always looking to add folks to our bench and worry less about platforms and numbers and the qualifications that the world might tell us we need to be real writers. I love number 4. We learn to hustle without losing heart, because, when you are working hard on a manuscript, you can just feel like it's part of the daily grind. But here at Hope Writers, we really try to remember that at the core of each word that we put to paper is our hearts. We write from the heart. We want to reach other people's hearts, and losing heart is something we're not going to sacrifice that in the hustle and the bustle of our daily lives, that meaningful life and the work of writing. Number 5, we champion the success of other writers. I often tell folks when I share with them that I'm a member of Hope Writers, I say, nobody, there is nobody in my life who cheers louder for my successes than my fellow Hope Writers.
Yep.
They are your cheerleading squad when you succeed. And on the days where you just feel like you're ready to throw it all out the window, they're the ones who come around you and champion you, remind you that your voice matters, and that you have words to share with the world. So I especially like number 5.
Yeah.
We've got more. Yes. Okay. We don't wait until we feel qualified, picked, or inspired. And boy, if you have been wondering whether you can call yourself a real writer, and you stand in a bookstore and you see all of the books there and you think, I have no words to add to this, I want you to know you don't have to wait until you're qualified, picked, or inspired. You can write now.
Yes.
And we let go, we release that competitive urge, that comparison urge that we have, and we just go ahead. We believe that real writers write even when they don't feel inspired. And so we just step forward with some bravery and courage, which we'll get to in number 9. Let's skip ahead to that. Number 9.
Do it.
That fear is normal, but courage gets the final say. I just want to give a hey to that, because when you are feeling low, it is so easy to just have that little ogre in your head start to cut you down. and you start to wonder if maybe you're really not cut out for this. And here at Hope Writers, we believe that courage always gets the final say. So whether that means that you bravely turn in a draft to your editor on your book manuscript, or you bravely hit publish on that blog post, maybe your step of courage is just telling someone in your life, I'm a writer. Using those words for the first time. We celebrate that kind of courage. And we believe that while fear is normal, courage will always get the final say. That said, though, number 8, we don't take ourselves too seriously. I have never seen folks share more gifts than at Hope.
Oh my goodness. Like our hidden talent.
Yes, we do not take ourselves too seriously because joy is just an endemic part of the hope-filled writing process. And, there are a lot of folks in our community who have really hard stories to share, and they just feel a real compulsion to share things that have been painful in their lives, to share stories of courage that they have experienced. And even in those really challenging spaces, we say, hey, you know what? We're not going to take ourselves too seriously. We're going to take our work seriously, but we're also going to step back and have a lot of fun. And nobody parties like a Hope Writer. That's for sure.
Oh, this is true. This is very true.
And I feel like 7 and 10 go together so well. We believe we've got a message to share and a reader to serve, and we celebrate progress and take our next right step in love. It is really hard to take a next right step when you're not sure that you have a message to share and a reader to serve. But when you have that person in mind, I have a reader in mind. Every time I write, I've started calling her Jan. Jan is the reader that I write for. And, when I sit down to write for her, I can write a paragraph and I can call that progress. I can write a whole piece and I can write and call that progress, because it's not about me. It's not about my insecurities. It's about taking that next right step in love, loving my reader, and loving the message that I have to share with her. So, I love this manifesto. It grounds me. That's why I stick it up where I can see it all the time. And if you join Hope Writers, you can find this manifesto. You can even download. I mean, mine's printed in black and white, but you can get a pretty downloadable version to stick on your bulletin board. It's in the Start Here module that Kelly mentioned. In where you're getting started, you're just diving right in, and ground yourself in that manifesto, in the truths that you find there. And you know what? Sometimes you need to read it aloud to yourself.
Absolutely.
Read it aloud, read it often, and then take the big step, the bold step, and actually believe it.
Yes. Clarissa, so good. Thank you for walking us through. I can see in the comments, these words are really resonating with a lot of people here live with us right now. And yes, that's it. That we are Hope Writers. Those are the words that we live by. The words that, like you said, so beautifully ground us. So thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for even just sharing your insight, your wisdom and experience and perspective on that.
You're welcome.
So good to hear. All right. Well, thank you again. You guys, this has been such a great time sharing with you. I hope that you've thoroughly enjoyed getting to meet our team members. Just a quick reminder before we go ahead and sign off for the night, we would love to have you try Hope Writers for 14 days for just $1. Like I've mentioned, that's at hopewriters.com/join. As soon as you go ahead and do that, you are going to get access to, the things we chatted about tonight, right? The live weekly teaching, that member resource library, and then the private Facebook community. That's what we spent the last half of this time. It was community. You're going to immediate access to those. Jump in, plug in, get yourself started on a plan, take that extended member quiz. And then after your trial ends, whether you decide to stay with us as a monthly member or maybe an annual member, you're going to go ahead and get access to those guided hope circles. You're going to get your member directory listing set up. And then you're also going to send you a welcome box with our progress planner. It's going to help you tie everything together and make a personalized plan for you for the next few months here. So we're so thrilled. Thank you again for joining us. If you have questions, you can visit, again, hopewriters.com/join. We have team members live ready to answer those for you. And we cannot wait to see you in Hope Writers.